Altona Rare Earths joined the main board of the London Stock Exchange in mid-2023. It's in a transition period from being a rare earths element specialized company with one asset to a diversified exploration company with several assets. Altona is led by Chief Executive Cedric Simonet, who joins us now. So Cedric, the company is Altona Rare Earths, but recent investor updates have referenced fluorospar and copper. So more opportunities, or is there a name change on the horizon?
All right. Good morning, Sarah. So yes, we have been expanding our portfolio. There is a rationale for that. Since 2021, we've built a lot of value with the Monte Muambe project. We've made a mineral resource estimate with a scoping study with the increase of our ownership to 51%. But at the same time, if you look at the evolution of the price of rare earths, especially the price of neodymium, which is the main value driver for Monte Muambe, you can see it peaked sharply in February 2022, and then it fell back down, and now it's at a relatively low level. And when you are a junior exploration company focusing on one commodity, your share price is very exposed to the price of that commodity. So this was an issue for us. Additionally, the rare earth market is a very new market. It's a new industry. It's not as developed as copper or gold, where there are lots of opportunities for a junior exploration company to monetize its discoveries and its progresses. So we decided to expand the portfolio of commodities into other critical minerals, and you've rightly mentioned fluorspar and copper. This is to minimize our exposure to the rare earth prices only, and also several assets, low-cost assets with low initial exploration cost, but good geological and technical merits, so that we also increase the number of opportunities to monetize our portfolio, either through partnerships or through development.
Okay, so for those people who are new to your business proposition, what's in the portfolio and at which locations?
All right, so we are still working on the Monte Muambe Rare Earth project, which is now at pre-feasibility study level. But we've also defined another project on the same site at Monte Muambe on the same license, and it will be under the same mining license, which is a fluorspar project. And I think we will talk a little bit more about this. In addition, we have two copper exploration projects. One is called the Sesana Copper Project, located in the Kalahari Copper Belt in Botswana. The other one is the Kabongo South Project, located in Zambia.
Okay, but obviously you haven't mothballed the rare earth side of Monte Muambe. So what are you hoping it will yield, and how much do you own of that rare earths project?
All right, so Monte Muambe, the rare earth project, still remains very, very important for us because we've worked on it during 3 years and we've created a lot of value with a maiden mineral resource estimate of 13.6 million tons at 2.42% total rare earth oxide. And that maiden mineral resource estimate, first 60% of it is already in the indicated category, which is a very good achievement for a maiden resource estimate. And additionally, this resource covers only 2 targets out of the 11 targets we've identified at Monte Muambe for rare earths. So there is a lot of upside potential. So at the moment, we are focusing on a few key priority de-risking activities for Monte Muambe. One is our application for a mining concession, which we started a while ago, but we believe it will be granted possibly within the next few weeks. So very exciting times for us. And we are also doing a lot of work on the metallurgy. Metallurgy typically is the most challenging part of rare earth projects. This is common to all rare earth projects. And we are currently doing a lot of work on flotation metallurgy with SGS Lake Fields in Canada, which is a laboratory with a lot of experience on rare earths. So these are our two key priority activities for Monte Muambe. Besides this, we are looking for a strategic investor to come on board of Monte Muambe because the value chain of rare earths is very small, has got few players. So we believe having some integration with downstream players, people who are interested, not just seeing our share price go up, but also who are interested in securing a source of the actual rare earth products. These are the sort of partners we would like to have on board of Monte Muambe.
So as you are on that search to secure a strategic investor or a strategic partner, when you are talking to them about Monte Muambe, how does it compare to its global peers?
So every rare earth project is different, and every rare earth project has got its advantages and its issues or inconveniences. I think one of the very important aspects of Monte Muambe is its location. It's in a very safe and mature mining region of Southern Africa. We are just next to two large coal mines called ICVL and Vulcan. So there is a lot of mining activity where we are. There are two different options for logistics to export the products to two different Indian Ocean ports. There is access to green energy through the Cabral Bassa hydropower dam. And also this Monte Muambe license is located in an area where nobody lives. So there is actually nobody living in the license, meaning that when we will be starting the mining, there will be no resettlement issues, which is a very good point. The last point is that the geometry of the ore bodies is very, very well defined. The ore bodies outcrop at the surface. We could start to mine tomorrow or directly without having to remove any waste. And that means that at the scale of the life of mine, the strip ratio is very, very low, only 1.6, which is also a very important aspect of this project.
But obviously, you're not going to start mining tomorrow. There are many steps to get there before you get into production. But if all the stars align, when do you anticipate you'll be in production? And which elements of your portfolio will you be taking into production first?
So Monte Muambe, the rare earth project, is a relatively large project. The capex is about $270 million. So it's not something small. We would be mining about 750,000 tons of ore per year to produce 15,000 tons per year of mixed rare earth carbonate product. This sort of project takes time. It will have to go through the pre-feasibility study, which is ongoing, then the definitive feasibility study, then front-end engineering and design, and so on. It will be very good that our mining concession is granted while this is happening because it will help de-risking the project. Now we have one project which could go into production much faster, and that is the Monte Muambe fluorspar project. Because at Monte Muambe, we have rare earths, we also have fluorspar. And some of this fluorspar is contained in very high-grade veins, which are not very large, but very high-grade, between 50% and 70% fluorspar. And typically, this sort of high-grade ore, it's possible to do beneficiation with very simple beneficiation methods, just crushing and then gravity separation using jigs or using a dense medium separation plant. So that makes it relatively easy to just go there, start mining, putting the ore through a simple, cheap processing plant and producing a commercial product, a sellable product. And we are currently doing a separate scoping study on this possible fluorspar mining operation. We expect that the scoping study will be completed by the end of Q1 2025 next year. We just had a batch of field activities, and I've just come back from the field. We were working on this particular project. And if it's successful, we could get into production within just 12 months of an investment decision. So it could be very, very short term project, which would take us into production revenue, and we could use part of this revenue either to work on the rare earth project, which is longer term, or to work also on our copper projects.
Okay, so I know you don't have any favored child, as it were, but you are excited by fluorspar. What's it used for?
So yeah, fluorspar is a very interesting mineral, and I've got a little bit of personal attachment for it because when I started my career, I worked for several years in a fluorspar mine in France, which was called SOGERM. I was open pit manager and I was also a chief geologist. And we had two open pits, one underground mine, one dense media separation plant to produce metallurgical grade fluorspar, and one flotation plant to produce acid grade fluorspar. So I've got a lot of experience with this mineral. And what's interesting is that people normally don't know fluorspar, but it's actually a mineral which is used in almost every application. If you want to produce steel or aluminum, you need fluorspar in the process as a flux. Fluorspar is also used to produce hydrofluoric acid, which is a base for any use of fluorine in the chemical industry. So, for example, when you use your fridge or when you use an air conditioned unit, the refrigeration gas contained inside contains fluorine. This fluorine comes from fluorspar. But even more interestingly, fluorine is necessary to produce lithium batteries. So if you want to build an electric vehicle, you're going to use about 45 kilos of fluorspar. So it is also a critical mineral. It's one of the few critical minerals that you will find on every list. The China critical minerals list, the US critical minerals list, the EU critical minerals list. And what we like a lot with this mineral is that contrarily to rare earths and lithium, which have peaked and went down and will peak again, the increase of the price of fluorspar that we have seen over the past few years is a lot more steady and we think is a lot more sustainable.
Okay, let's talk about copper now. First of all, the copper price, is that more stable? And secondly, you've decided to venture into the copper exploration possibilities in Botswana and Zambia. Why did you choose the Kabompo South and Sisana projects?
All right, so when we started our portfolio diversification strategy with the board of Altona, we didn't just plug things randomly. We decided what we were looking for. We were looking for projects that had a relatively low entry cost, and we were looking for projects where the initial exploration would also be relatively low cost, so that we could add value without spending too much money. But of course, as a geologist, I was also looking at the technical merits of the project. I had to be excited about it. So the Sisana project in Botswana is particularly exciting to me because it's located 25 kilometers from an existing operating mine, the Kwema Zone 5 mine, which produces currently, if I'm not mistaken, 60,000 tons of copper in concentrate per year, plus 1.6 million ounces per year of silver. And what I like a lot with the Kalahari Copper Belt in Botswana is that it's a new play. Because there is a layer of Kalahari sand on top of the substratum of the rocks, it has not been explored until recently, until the past 15 years. And the discoveries, the mines that were put into production there show the potential. Additionally, the geological context of these copper deposits is the same everywhere in the Kalahari Copper Belt. It's very, very clear, and it's possible to see it on regional airborne geophysical maps. Meaning that when we chose the Sisana project, we were already confident that this area of interest with copper potential passes through the license. So it's very exciting because we've already narrowed down on a very interesting area. And the next steps in terms of exploration at Sisana will be to do more geophysics, define drilling targets, and start drilling, obviously.
And the copper price, is that less erratic than the rare earth elements prices?
That is correct. That was also a reason for our decision to look into copper, and we also looked into similar other metals. Copper has a very long history. It's one of the, after gold, it's the second mineral which was used and worked by mankind. So the copper industry is very mature, uh, both upstream and downstream, which means that the copper prices, of course, they go up and down, but on the whole, they are relatively stable compared to new minerals like rare earths and lithium. And additionally, because the copper industry is very mature, when you are a junior exploration like us, let's say we get into a discovery, we are going to have many options to monetize this discovery, either by pushing it further, maybe up to development, or by talking to a major, or by doing a joint venture. There are many different options.
Okay, lots of options on the table. I know you're having many discussions, but here we are. It's November 2024. What can we expect to hear from the company before the year end, which is only sort of 7 weeks away?
All right. So I think that the first news that will come out will be the mining concession for Monte Muambe, which will be a very important milestone. Of course, at Monte Muambe, we are also continuing with the metallurgical studies for flotation, and I'm expecting some results also before the end of the year that we will announce. Still at Monte Muambe, but now shifting to the fluorspar part of the project. This ongoing scoping study is going to generate some news flow. There will be assay results from the samples that we are currently sending to the lab. There will be also results of communications with potential buyers and off-takers. This is something that I'm focusing on at the moment. And of course, in Q1, there will be the results of the scoping study. And then in parallel to that, we will have news flow from our copper projects, initially with geophysical results. And then as soon as possible, most likely early next year, drilling both at Kabompo and at Sesana, and potentially a discovery.
Also, at the same time, I would recommend that investors don't wait for the news flow, that they go and they investigate your website, which is encyclopedic. Plus, you've had some good analyst coverage. Where can we find that? Or is it all on your website?
Well, there was recently a research note which was published by Optimo Capital, which I liked a lot because I thought it was very sober and realistic. I thought it was very carefully written, not over-ambitious, but realistic. So this research note can be found on our website, on the Investor Hub section of our website, or it can also be found on the Optimo Capital website. It's a very interesting read.
And I like the idea that it's realistic and sober. Thank you very much, Cedric Simonet, Chief Executive of Altona Rare Earths. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.